but we don't have a chiropractor in our area like you. That's what I've heard several times recently. So I thought I would answer the question, what is a chiropractor like me? And so when we look at the issue of chronic health problems, we want to go deep and we want to go broad in the way that we address those, but we need that process organized. So I've taken the generic concept of functional healthcare, restoring function. I've studied in two areas what is generically called functional medicine. I'm not implying that I have a medical degree by any means. I'm talking generic terms that the public is familiar with. And then we've studied in the area of functional neurology, stimulating the nervous system to change through physical means. Again, I'm not implying that I'm practicing the medical profession of neurology. So we've married those together. We've taken the best of functional medicine and we've divided it into three areas: hormones, immune, and detoxification, so that it's an organized process. So hormonal balance, we're working with things like insulin, we're working with sex hormones, adrenal hormones, all of that. And we're helping the hormonal system balance. Now we have a number of lab tests that we do for that, and then we test it by energetic means as well. And then in relationship to the immune system, we're also dealing with the gut, because 70% of our immune system is in our gut, so we're dealing with all the digestive issues under that category. We're dealing with balance in the immune system, we're dealing with strength in the immune system, and we're dealing with inflammatory triggers in the immune system, both from a lab point of view and again from a energetic functional testing point of view. Then we're dealing with the detoxification pathways, how our body handles toxins, how it gets rid of toxins, if it has any immune reaction to toxins. And then what we found that if we just work with a patient that way, which is what a number of practitioners are doing in terms of, they call it functional medicine, and they do it online, and they sit at their computer and they talk with the person about their diet and their nutritional supplements and things like that. And that's very helpful, but it doesn't get anywhere near the results of seeing a person live in person, because the nervous system has to be involved with all of that. So we married all that together, and that's our trademark called HIDDEN: hormonal balance, immune strength, detoxification, efficiency, and neurological connection. HIDDEN. So when we put all that together, we found tremendous results. And under the nervous system category, we have a number of things that we work with. Emotions, where we're working with specific brain lobes and specific types of emotional stress that have thrown the brain off. And when the brain gets thrown off, then the hormones go off, the immune system goes off, and the ability to detoxify goes off. So that all fits together. And underneath that, we work with negative patterns, sabotage patterns, faulty belief systems, emotional hits to the heart. We work with inherited weaknesses and much, much more. Then we work with the motor system, the ability of a muscle to fire properly at 100% strength through full range of motion. If we test that muscle and it's not, then we have ways to reset the brain and nervous system to get that firing again. The big concept there is neurological recognition. In that, if the brain doesn't know that this muscle is not 100% through its full range of motion, the brain can't reset it. So by testing it, then the brain is aware of it, and then we do the right things to reset the motor system. And then sensory nervous system. If my hand has a loss of pain, sensation, or vibration, or light touch, or deep touch, or cold or hot, that we stimulate those sensory nerve endings, and then we use red light therapy and adjustments and other means to reboot that connection between the sensory part of the nervous system and the brain, and back to the sensory part of the nervous system. So that's emotions, motor, and sensory. Then we work with the cranial nerves. These are the nerves that control our eyes, our throat, our face, our tongue, all the nerves in our head area. Those are very, very important for our body functioning at its optimum. So we work with the cranial nerves, both the motor and the sensory aspects, like we just talked about, of those. Then we have ways to train the brain specifically in its brainwave patterns so that we have healthier patterns for attention, for sleep, for mood, and much, much more. And we do that with a computer. Then we work with all the traditional structural things, although we don't use a manual adjusting, we use an instrument. There's no popping or twisting. We work with the discs. Then we work with the viscera, meaning the nerve supply to our organs, so that that's all opened up. And we have special ways to activate, so bring the brain's attention that we're working on that organ. Then we work on the neurological areas and the muscles that have a shared nerve supply with that organ. Then we work on brain balance, left and right balance, and integration of the brain with the core. And those are huge, huge, huge factors that if those aren't addressed first, then the other structural work is not nearly as effective. And then finally we work with the soft tissues of the body as well to make sure that they're optimum. So those are some of the categories that we work with under the nervous system. So you've seen we went very deep, we went very broad, but we've been very organized in our approach. And that is what a chiropractor like me is for someone with a chronic health problem. That we can get in there, we can find all the different triggers, and that we can address those, and we can go broad and we can go deep, and we can be organized in our process so that we're not trying one thing and then, oh, if that didn't work, we try something else, and if that didn't work, we try something else. No, we have ways to prioritize all of this so that the person with a very chronic health issue can get the greatest help possible. So if you have an autoimmune condition, all of those are chronic health problems. If you have a chronic health problem that you've been struggling with a long time and don't know what it is, it's probably autoimmune. We have ways to uncover that in our office. We work with a lot of chronic brain issues in terms of mood, depression, anxiety, attentional issues, and more. We work with a lot of chronic low energy issues. We work with a lot of chronic thyroid issues. Most of those are autoimmune, not all of them. We work with helping people with their insulin sensitivity and losing weight. And we work with many chronic brain issues, people that have had strokes, people that have had traumas. And again, we work with a lot of traumatic emotional stress, because that has rewired the brain so that the hormones are off, the immune system is off, autoimmunity, and the detox pathways are off. So those are some of the ways that we address chronic health problems. So if you have any of those kind of issues, be sure and give our office a call. People often travel to see us from out of state. It depends on the distance. If they're 3 or 4 hours, they might come in for a day or two, and we work with intensive things. If they're much longer distance away across the country, they'll come in, stay at a hotel for a week or sometimes 2, and get more intensive care so that we can sort all these things out. We can help the nervous system function better. We can help the hormones work better, the immune system, the detox pathways, and the nervous system work at its best. And when all those systems work at their best, you can be at your best. I'm Dr. Michael Winters, Winters Wellness, Chiropractic Redefined. Look for us on Facebook, Winters Wellness Center on Facebook. You can click groups. We have a number of groups on preventing brain decline, autoimmune issues, Hashimoto's, which is autoimmune thyroid issues, and our group Sick and Tired of Fit and Fabulous. You can also find us on YouTube. We're gaining in subscribers there, so be sure and subscribe to us there. We look forward to helping you out in the future. I'm Dr. Michael Winters, Winters Wellness, Chiropractic Redefined.